Good evening and welcome to My Psychic Connection. I'm your host, Journey Ryan. It is Friday night. That means we are here. We are talking about witchcraft. We are talking about some of the cool things that connect science and witchcraft together, which I will explain a little bit about. And it may be happy for some, but may not be so happy for others. But that's okay. That's okay. We get the idea of what is, and if you guys have any questions about witchcraft and things that you guys want to ask a question about, don't hesitate to ask it right here in the comment section. Guys, don't forget to like our YouTube channel and our Facebook. We're also doing some other stuff coming up here soon with some other shows. Now guys, just so you know, that the energy that I see circling it is that we have a huge lineup of new shows. So I keep seeing it. I've been picturing it. That's why I put this together, and that's why I can't wait for everybody to see all the cool, new, fun people that we have that are going to be coming on board. Extra shows, including the ones that you see today. Remember, we are here 5 nights a week, so let's get started. So I know that everybody's here, and secret computer person. Okay. Sorry, I was reading a comment. So let's get started. I know you guys have some questions, and I'm going to go off with starting with, okay, so witchcraft. I said last time we talked about women being witches and males being warlocks. This is true. These energies run differently in all of our bodies. They connect to our nerve endings. They connect, because it is a control of energy. Being a energy controller, a spiritual practitioner, Reiki masters do it. We learn how to control energy. But each type of energy is different. We control them differently, being a male or a female. Now, I know some of us don't always, let's say, you don't resonate as a man or you don't resonate as a woman. But even with that being said, that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But your body is built a certain way. And let's say you take the hormone treatments and things of that nature. That doesn't change the way your ability comes to you. Even as a witch practitioner, to some people, witch practitioner or warlock. I mean, I've heard people call themselves wizard because they didn't want to be called either one. Spiritual practitioner is another one. It means that you don't stop, you don't limit yourself to one specific thing, which is nice. It gives you the opportunity to be well-rounded in many things. And that's why I call myself a spiritual practitioner. Something I was seeing here, somebody was calling themselves a witch god, and if you were going to be a witch anything, if you were going to go into the godly frame, you would be a goddess, not a god. So if you're going to be a man, then you would be God. But I'm going to tell you this. Nobody is a god. Let's end that today. If you see that, like, oh, let's say I've seen one called Tarot God, or I'm the Witch God, or I'm this God. If the word God is in their saying to call them what they are, keep going. That right there shows me how huge their ego is. And the last thing I want to be read by is an egotistical person. I want to be able to get somebody who is well-rounded and can see things from multiple different aspects, hear things from spirit, read things from yourself psychically, pick up energy from tarot cards. I want to be able to see somebody who is well-rounded. I don't want, not that I go out asking for readings, because I know how to ask myself, and I'm going to be teaching some of the people that are taking the tarot class that exact thing, and to help pull away some of these terrible stigmas that are with some of these, and that's why this witchcraft show is here. Now, I tell people all the time, just because you don't like the word warlock because, oh, well, we've been said that warlocks are evil. Well, witches are claimed to be evil as well. Well, that doesn't change that. If you're a man, you're a warlock. If you're a woman, you're a witch. Just like if you're a female, you're called a female. If you're a male, you're called a male. Now, I understand the whole new world of, what you resonate with and things of that nature, and that's fine. But when it comes to the world of magic or witchcraft or the craft period, whatever gender you were born with is where your magic lies within you. So even if you don't resonate in that way, you still need to be able to practice. If you practice the craft, you need to practice it with that energy. Now, there are people in the world that are born with both genders, and that is freaking awesome, because not only do they get to tap into the female version of it, they tap into the male. So you can come together and they have both, which to me makes them pretty powerful. And, and a lot of people, they're ashamed of that. And you know what? Don't let anybody shame you. Don't let people take your power. When you feel offended by them, when you give them that type of power over who you are, they're taking it away from you. Don't let people take your power. So, our nerve endings, what is that? It's electrical pulses that go through our bodies. Currents of electricity, energy. What you use to create, but I'm going to say spells, because that's what they call them. How do you create a spell? You're going to use your energy. So, the thing about it is that when it comes to these energies, a male's nerve endings are a lot different than a woman's. They pulse differently. Some pulse faster, some pulse slower, things to that nature. I'm just putting that out there. That's why I say when it comes to your craft, you have to do it in the way that it was made for you. So you don't you don't want to misstep or misfire. So if you're putting out energy, you want to be 100% correct. You have to be, especially when you're working on energy or making something happen or trying to make something happen. You have to be completely honest with yourself in order to put that complete energy out there. Because if you're trying to twist energy or you're not doing it correctly because you don't want to connect in the way because that's not how you think, you're going to screw yourself up. So energy sees no gender on that. But in the way that you do things, it's going to make a lot of change. So you don't want to do things incorrectly, especially messing with that. But what I can tell you is that I know quite a few people who are on different levels, and I know people who resonate with certain energies, and I don't resonate as a man or I don't resonate as a woman. Well, even with that being said, they know these steps, and I've had these conversations with them. So it makes it difficult at first because that's not what they want to recognize. Give me a second, guys. All right. I had to send a message out, so I got my puppy in here in case you guys heard her whining. But I know you guys have lots of questions, so let's start with the questions. What particular thing that you would like to know about witchcraft that has you intrigued, or that you don't know enough about, that is going to, that you just want to know? I'm seeing highs, but where's the questions? Okay. Victor P says, what if you're a man who likes men and women but has a more feminine side? Is the energy still masculine, or is there still some feminine Okay, so when it comes to that, it's still based off of you were born a male, whether you are a feminine male, because you are more in touch with your emotions. That can change energy in the sense of not being driven by ego, which is great. But the thing is that technically you still need to practice the craft because you are a man. That is the way you need to practice it because that is how your body is wired. Now, unless you are born with both genders, you're not going to be able to flip the script. Even if you have the surgeries, do all the stuff that you need to, you're still wired a certain way. And I know that a lot of people that may hear this may not like that, and that part sucks, but I can't base things off of how people resonate in that way because I am trying to show people that even if you are and you resonate and you still practice this way, I know lots of people who have changed their sex that still know to practice their craft a certain way, and I'm going to bring them on future shows, so get ready for that, guys. So that way you get an idea and get the chance to talk with them because they're absolutely amazing people and they know their craft very, very well. But definitely, I can't wait to bring them on. But that was a very good question. Thank you, Victor. Lisa says, how do I cast a circle of protection? Well, there's many ways to cast circles of protection, salt being one of them. Depending on what you're trying to protect. Are you protecting yourself? Are you protecting your house? What is it that you're protecting? And with protection, there can be no doubt. All doubts need to step aside, and you need to come in. When you're doing a protection, you need to come in like you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof when it comes to that protection. The slightest doubt, the slightest, I hope this works. The minute you say hope, you've already added doubt. There is no hope. There either it does or it doesn't. That's how energy works. You don't want to put hope there. You want it to say, this is going to work. And I'm going to do this, and it's going to work. You need to empower yourself. Don't let anybody take that from you. I've seen that happen on too many occasions. But Lisa, good question. Blanca, she says, if you don't believe in witchcraft, but they do, can it still affect you? Depending on the situation, yes, it can still affect, but it may not come after you directly, but what it would do is affect the things around you. So in order for that not to affect you, you need to find a way to balance yourself. So if you are grounded and you can basically take on what's coming on and keep yourself grounded, these things will not affect you. I see a lot of people are like, oh, I've been cursed. I'm going to tell you 9 times out of 10, I've rarely seen curses work because they're not done properly. And thank God for small miracles. There's a lot of things you got to do in order to make that happen. We all go through bad situations. We all go through bad times. They cannot hurt you directly. What they have to do, and this is what I'm going to tell everybody, what happens is they can't hit you directly, so they hit the things around you. So then things don't go your way and things seem to fall apart. Realize that it's all the things that are around you that are going wrong, not you. It's not you that's getting hurt. It's the things that are around you that we're giving power to that are hurting us. So that's where this energy is going. So they're attacking the things that surround you that are going to, benefit you, your life in some way, or, so what we can do is we got to find a way to stay balanced, stay focused. If you can stay on top of it and stay focused and, you know what? So that happened. All right. Well, now I've got my backup plan. I've got my plan B. I've got a plan C. As long as you know that, hey, if this doesn't work out, I'm not going to sweat it. I'm going to have my way to get around what was just there. So you will be able to take control of your life. Because the one thing that people can't mess with is your free will. And everybody, and I mean everybody, has guardians. They all have things that we deal with. And if you've got people in your life that, oh, I'll put a curse on you. Well, good luck with that, because I'm going to give you here's a little tip. Everything you put into the universe comes back to you. Not times 3, but times 10. It's not 3. It comes back tenfold. So they put a curse on you. That's their negative energy going out there. Guess what? It's going to cut when it makes its full circle. Now, its first stop was you. The second stop, where it comes back to return to sender, is them. And along the way, it picked up all that bullshit. And it's going to slam them harder than they ever imagined. And they're going to think that you retaliated. No, dum-dum. That's your bullshit. You put that out there. Well, now it's coming all back to you. So my suggestion to anybody out there is don't put curses on anyone. Because remember, that energy is going to come back to you. And it's not going to be a good one. Let karma take care of it. Karma always takes care of its victim. It goes out and it comes back. It's going to hit you. So try not to be a dick. Try not to put out curses, and you won't have any problems. Try to help somebody. Do something for somebody that makes you feel good and makes them feel good. You're already getting that joy in your life. Don't do things for people that, I'm going to say this, and it may come off a little harsh, but don't deserve it. And the reason I say don't deserve it is because we're helping somebody who doesn't really need the help. Someone who's lazy. Know who to help and who not to. Because other people, if we continue to keep enabling them, they're going to keep using people all the way around. So when you've got that one friend that keeps doing drugs and then says, oh, I want to get off it, and then you give them all this money and you do this and that, and you're housing them and doing all that, and then they just run off and keep doing the same thing. You've learned your lesson. You tried to help. They weren't ready. When they're actually ready, they'll be extremely desperate. So you wait it out. But you can help people that actually need it. And you'll know when that person actually needs it. You will feel it. The energy is different. The emotional energy is different. It's a huge feeling, and you will know it. But when you're second guessing it, the minute you're second guessing it, the answer's no. Your first intention was the right one. And Jenny knew that was Mom. All right. So just something you guys, need to know about when it comes to curses and things like that. Trust me, is the last thing you want to do. Just sit back, watch karma hit them. But you know what? When karma comes back, it doesn't hit them like it hit you. When someone put that curse out there and they hit you a certain way, when it comes back around, it's going to hit them in their weak spot. What is the one thing that's going to be weak? That is what it's going to go after. Where it thinks it has strength, it's really vulnerable. So that's where that karma is going to go. That's where that spell, energy, curse, whatever the hell they put out there, it comes back. So it's one of those things that, it's not something you want to deal with. All right. Let's take a look here. Thank you, Blanca, for all that. Yes, protecting myself before a spell. Depending on what you're trying to do, if you're trying to curse somebody, my recommendation is no. But if you're putting out energy into the universe and it doesn't have, if it's not a negative, you shouldn't have to protect yourself. But if you're trying to protect yourself from other people or other energies, do the salt ring around your house. Um, uh, I would say probably once a week, do a salt bath, washing away negativity, neutralizing things that no longer serve a purpose. Put a little bit of sage in your food if you're not allergic. You can burn sage. You can light a white candle for purity. Um, Seashells absorb negativity. Put those in your window seals in your bathroom. You ever notice that people put seashells in their bathrooms? It's because that's where, and they used to put the toilet seat down. That's where the toilet seat, it's because the negativity doesn't come back up. There's all kinds of little things about that. Well, seashells went into bathrooms because they absorbed the negativity, and the bathroom was the place where the negativity was washed off. You flush the toilet. I mean, even in outhouses, they would take seashells, put them in the outhouses, and put drops of oil, of scented oils, on the seashells because the seashell would absorb the oils, and then when the outhouse would heat up, it would amplify that smell. So instead of the other smell, which you pretty much don't want to smell. But yeah, there's seashells absorb a lot of negativity. A pinch of salt in the pocket helps. Some of your favorite crystals are some that will reflect. And what happens when you put a clear quartz crystal, when you put a clear quartz crystal inside your pocket, whatever energies that you're putting out. Now you're going to be protecting yourself from one because you're amplifying your energy. And on top of that, this is a little warning for you when you put a crystal in your pocket, whatever you're feeling will be felt stronger. So if you're angry, people are really going to feel that anger. If you're happy, people are going to feel the excitement and the energy that comes with that. So, just a little FYI before you put a clear quartz crystal in your pocket. And I'm not talking about putting one the size of a dump truck in your pocket. That's not necessary. You could put one in there the size of a dime. It doesn't matter. But it will amplify the energy around you and help with your protection because you've got your own energy field around you. Just like the earth has its own magnetic field, your body creates a magnetic field as well. So you have your own protection. Plus, like I said, you've got guardians and things like that. So yeah, protection is good, but you don't have to be under 24-hour surveillance of protection because you already have that naturally. So you just have to be careful of the energies and how to take on what's in front of you. And as long as you're not allowing those things to get to you, you'll be fine. All right, let's keep on going here. Ray says, can someone be a witch without knowing it? I know plenty of people who are so connected to the earth and makes amazing natural through herbs and plants. What makes someone a witch? A title. A title makes you a witch. It's like saying I'm a Christian, I'm Jewish, I'm this, I'm that, I'm spiritual practitioner, I'm a warlock, I'm this, I'm that. It's a title. We all naturally have the abilities within us, but we have in this world a reason to title everything. Everything has to have a title. Everything has to have a time. Everything's got to have a date. Everything's got to have a number. Everything's got to have something. But we all naturally have these skills within us. We've just moved so far away from doing them that we have forgotten. So these are practices that people are recently picking back up because now it's okay to be a witch. It's okay to be a warlock. It's okay to, follow whatever religion it is that you are and be all right with it. But, doctors do it all the time when it comes to herbs and plants. And, that's how we make our medicine. Some of it is a process. Some of it's artificial, but some of it's at some point in time, the piece of of medicine that you've had was made and created by something that was natural. You know? So at some point it had its natural property, and that's why it does what it does. But, you know, the thing about it is that we all have the ability to do it. We just have not been taught. Some of us pick it up naturally. But yes, we all have the abilities. It just depends on the title that you want to call yourself. So you don't have to be a witch to be connected to the earth, because we're all connected to the earth. And I've got some other witch practitioners that are coming your way that's going to talk a little bit more on that. So I can't wait for to hear their aspect of how that works and how they understand it, because it'll be absolutely amazing. All right. You're welcome. I just seen thank you, Journey. Hang on. This whole thing just slipped up. Mom said hi, everybody, by the way. This one says, are you picking up on my energy? That sounds like my friend. Yes, you're right. Her energy is off. Last time I seen her, she was looking for me to help her out again. The answer to that is no. Take a step back. Let her go through what she needs to. If you're gonna be 10 foot tall and bulletproof and put yourself out there, and you think that you're going to be able to do something, just remember, everything you put out into this world is going to come back at you. So don't put things out there that you don't want, because when they come back, it's going to hurt, and it's not going to come back in the same way. So it's not the same thing. No cursing anyone. I've been told that I always need to do a circle of protection before any spell, so I don't receive any spiritual attack. Okay. This is where we start getting into the movie scene. You already have your form of natural protection around you. So if you're not putting out negativity, you have nothing to worry about. If you're putting out something that's positive, or you're just looking to change something or figure out how to navigate something, give me a sign, do this, that, and the other, so I can find my way. So you're asking for breadcrumbs. It's not harming anybody. It's alerting you. So what you're doing is you're actually sending energy to yourself to process that I need to be alert and watch for the signs that I need to be taking in order to get to my destination, or to get to what it is I'm looking for. Love spells, curse, don't do them. Using herbs and things to that nature, helping someone heal. There's a lot of different positive things that don't necessarily need a protection from. So if you don't have ill intent or ill will, now let's say, okay, there's a bad person, and I heard this from some people when we were going through the whole Donald Trump thing and the Biden thing, and some people didn't want him and some people didn't want him. They were going to put these curses out there and they were going to do this. Good luck. That's all I can say. Journey, will you help us? No, I will not. You will do that on your own. I'll sit over here, eat popcorn, and watch karma kick your ass. It's going to be the fight of the century. Why would you do that? So I don't participate in that type of thing. I will help people as a Reiki practitioner. I work with energy. Of course, I work spiritually, and I do a lot of different things, but I'm not going to harm anybody. And there's a reason for everything. Even when we see something that's bad in this world, and we're looking at it, we're like, I can't believe this is happening. Okay, why is this happening? Is there some reason that there's a lesson that needs to be learned? Yes, there is. We may not see it at that moment. It's not until after things happen that we realize what we needed at that time in order to wake ourselves up. We are a creature of trial and error. We learn from our mistakes. And sometimes we make them 3 to 4 or 5 times. And it's not always a good thing. So, yes, bad things do happen in the world. Bad things happen to people. You know, I've heard, oh, well, bad things always happen to good people. It's not necessarily true. They're going through things that aren't exactly positive, but there's always a reward in some way. And it's not always like, let's say, money or something to that nature. They gain something within them. Maybe they gain a better self-respect for themselves, or they respect others differently, or they have to live a certain way because now they've abused something, they've done something wrong. So we have to look at things very carefully, especially while putting energy out there. And, be careful what you put out there and what you wish for. I always tell people, don't wish for anything. Don't wish. I've seen some nasty energy when it comes to wishes. And I know there are gypsies out there that do cast these things, but they do it in the wrong way. And tell you it's a total backfire, because you're not going to get a wish like that without a consequence. I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after these messages, and we'll get back to some more. So get those questions ready. We'll be right back. All right, so now that we are back, I got asked, what is the most powerful crystal for protection? Well, I mean, there are multiple different types of crystals, and I know that certain crystals have certain properties. But the thing about it is when you're using a crystal and you're putting forth the energy to put out there, that energy, believe it or not, is still coming from you. So you could use a quartz, or you could use, amethyst, you could use whatever crystal you pick up. I say quartz because that energy is coming from you. The only thing that crystal doing is amplifying it. And yeah, some have other properties that do connect to material things like money and things of that nature. And that's something that we'll go more into detail with that, because we do have a crystal course coming for you guys that's going to be here on one of our shows. So get ready for that. That's in the works. And we also have an apothecary show putting together herb medicines and things like that. So I can't wait for you guys to be able to see that, and like ideas to provide energy and things of that nature. So it's going to be pretty interesting with all the things that we have laying around our house, that technically if you have a spice rack, you have a small apothecary inside your house. And it's amazing what black pepper can do. And salt. Don't forget salt. All right. Mom did say hi to everybody. I'm seeing the hey mamas as I'm scrolling up. So thank you, Journey. You are welcome, Lisa. It says, finally realized my ex was just a lesson after years of wanting her back in my life. That's why you got to sit and wait and find out what it is that you are really wanting. Sometimes we need to be reminded of the past in order to be able to move into the future. So don't forget that. Says, can you be a Christian witch? Yes, you can. The thing about it is that in the Christian religion, Jesus is the Lord and Savior. And so you can do that and, be a witch, which is connected to herbal medicines and, working with energies. These are all things that are not harmful. Now, if you're out like, I cursed you and I cursed you and I did this and I did that, well, doesn't sound very Christian-like, so I wouldn't suggest that's what you are. But believe it or not, and a lot of people don't realize this, but out in the world today, and even the Vatican holds these documents today, is that there is a Catholic magic. The Catholics have their own version of the craft, and these are things that they know to work, feel that they're too powerful for people to have, and have hid them from people. Now, they have started to surface and resurface, and this type of information is being released, and some people are starting to practice these types of religion. I'm going to say magic or the craft. The Spanish actually know a lot about it, and a lot of people. I've noticed that I have some of my Spanish practitioners who that practice in the craft. They think, oh well, their magic works so much better than so and so's magic. Well, no, it's the intent, because you know what? When in their culture, when they believe in something, they go 100% in. They don't go half. They don't put their toe in there and go, I'm going to see if this works, but it might not work. They're like, oh, this is how it works. Got it. They put it forth because they believe. A lot has to do with having the belief system behind it. If you don't have that behind you, it's like, am I going to get more power out of a car battery, or am I going to get more power out of this AAA battery? Well, the AAA battery is, I think it'll work. The car battery is, this is going to work. I'm 100% sure. Boom. You're going to get more power out of that car battery. Why? Because it's 100% there. That battery, that small battery, has got just, you're adding just that little bitty bit of power. That car battery is the big power. The big power comes from you being 100% sure of who you are, what you can do. But if you're like, you're going to, goodbye to that spell, goodbye to that whatever you're casting. It ain't going to happen. I watch people that have said, oh, well, you can't do things for yourself. You can. And it's not personal gain in a sense that you're not going, well, I'm going to be the richest man in the world or richest woman in the world. No. Are you going to go out there and help somebody with your craft? I need to know that I'm going to go out there. I'm going to put this energy forth, and I want to know something. I want to learn something. You want money? I'm going to put forth the energy to give me strength, to give me the willpower in order to focus on the thing that I want. And that one thing that I want is going to provide me with, I don't know, maybe that financial thing. Or maybe it's going to give me the education where I can teach and help others with their lives. So there's a benefit. One hand washes the other there. So you got to watch what you can do. But if you're putting out energy without knowing what you're doing, energy is going to take the shortest route. So if you're not specific, and I mean to the T, or if you are not specific with what you want, what you need, and how you need it to get there, it's going to bounce everywhere until it gets to its destination. By that time, it's like a bull in the china shop that done blew half the shit up, and now everything's broken. You're like, that's not how I wanted it. Right. This is why they tell you. This is why they say. This is why the original intent of magic was so dangerous. Because if they weren't specific enough on how to get it, it was harming. It was very harmful. It can be. It's like lightning. You never see lightning just go down in a straight line. It has waves. It's got side beams. It's completely different. So what you have to do is you have to open that door and say, okay, I want to do this, but I need it to go here, 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 all the way to the end. And then create the path for it to come all the way back. So I need it to get here, but then I need it to come back to me like this. That's like using a power line. You don't just put generators outside and say, well, I hope that lightning hits my house so I can have lights. No. We add wires, we connect to it. I mean, there's a lot of things, just like in regular everyday life, we do things in order to get things to connect. So make sure when you're putting that type of stuff out there, you're connecting and you know what you're doing, and that you're not just using this type of energy. Well, I figured out how to manipulate energy, so tomorrow I'm going to be a millionaire. Oh, yeah? How'd you ask for it? Yep, not a good idea. Oh, what do you mean? Your whole family was on an airplane and died and you had to sue the airport to get the money that you asked for? That's not a very good idea. Even if you don't like your family, I'm going to put that out there because I know some people are like, well, that's questionable on my Don't question it. All right. We got some more questions here. It says, I'm interested in being a magical practice. Where should I start? Well, the first thing that I teach everybody is grounding. Grounding. Just like you would ground any type of electronical device, you have to ground it. There's always a ground wire. Well, your feet, your hands, your body can be grounded, and I mean literally on the earth's surface. Take your feet, put them in the dirt, put your hands in the dirt, salt water, everything that you can think of that will help you ground. I love putting my hands in the dirt. Go outside, do a little bit of yard work. Even if you live in an apartment complex, find the closest old person and ask if you can help them with some yard work. Just a few things. It doesn't have to be their entire yard. Just say, hey, I would love to be able to, trim these bushes. Or I'm going to weed whack for you. Would you mind? What are you going to charge me? I'm not charging you anything. I'm just reconnecting to the earth. I'm reconnecting to nature. Let's get grounded. Let's take those deep breaths. Let's get back out into nature. Even if it's going on a nature hike, go on a nature trail, go swim in a lake, go whitewater rafting, go play in the ocean, go do something in nature. I like the idea of those who live in cities that can't, let's say, get to nature, and they go to the little suburbs and they find these little houses. And there's people who can't mow their grass and pay these big companies to do it. Hey, this week save your $150. I'm gonna do it for you. I'm going to, trim your hedges, or I'm going to mow your grass, or I'm going to weed whack, or I'm going to plant some roses for you. What do you want? Let's do this. And get yourself back into the dirt. That's the one thing we're missing. Everybody's like, oh, well, magic was so strong back in the day. That's because they were connected to the earth. They didn't have TV, cell phones, radios. They didn't have all these noises. to keep them occupied. So they focused their energy into the ground. They focused it on earth. They focused on being in nature. I mean, their water sources came from lakes, rivers, they were more connected than we were today. Now 90% of our water, if it's city water, we're pumping it, and then we're putting bleach in it. We're doing all kinds of stuff to it to purify it, and it's just not the same. So, I tell people, reconnect. If you can't drink the water, at least swim in it. And I don't recommend you guys going out drinking creek water. Just so you know, it's really going to mess with you. Your body get ready for that type of bacteria. The water is definitely different than it was back then. All right. Jenny says, should you work with a deity? That depends. Now, I'm not a master of every religion, but I always tell people, if you're using the craft and you have to use a spirit in order to get what you're looking for, it's not necessarily a good idea. Because a lot of people, when they put that out there and they don't have all the way how they want it to go all the way to the end, use these deities. Now, are you talking to the right one? Are you saying it correctly? Are you doing what it's supposed to be doing in order to even call that deity to you? How do you know that you're calling that one? What if some other random spirit shows up and it's like, oh, look at this goofy one. I'm going to play so hard with this. That's why I never tell people to use. Because trust me, as a psychic myself, spirits coming in and they talk to you and some of them try to trick you. And you're like, you're not the person I want to talk to. Next. I've seen that. They'll try to jump ahead and start talking. When I'm doing readings for people, we're doing mediumship readings, and it's one right after the other. And there's 36 freaking spirits floating around my office trying to talk to everybody that's out there, because there's hundreds of people that walk through the show at that time. And they're just like, oh, this and that. Everybody hold on. I need to talk to so-and-so. Are you here? Once I hear them and I'm talking to the person that's asking the question, I'm going to make that connection. Now, sometimes spirit isn't the same one, and it will have a message for them, but it may not be who they want to talk to. Because being a medium is not being a part of AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, whatever company you got. We don't go, hey, yeah, I want to talk to Tom. No, not that Tom. Linda's Tom. He died November 22nd. Yeah. Is he there? Can I talk? It doesn't work that way. So, like I said, you have to be specific with your energies. You don't need a deity to do this type of work. I don't recommend bad things, but you can provide perfection for other people. Those who can't or don't know. These are good and positive things you can put out there for them. Help them realize what's going on. Help them, make them feel comfortable. When they're like, is that really going to work? Absolutely, it works every time. Not, well, I sure hope so. Well, that was reassuring. That's like going to the car lot going, yeah, I want to buy that car. Does it run? Well, I hope so. What do you mean you hope so? I don't want that effing car now. You hope it works? You better know that it works. Like, I'm not driving that off the lot with a hope that it might make it to the stop sign when I leave here. I need to know that it's going to be able to make it to point A to point B. So, when you're doing that type of stuff, like I said, again, it comes with the confidence. So, it's just one of those things that, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't. If you don't have the right teacher, it doesn't seem right. They're trying to sacrifice birds or tell you that they can do love spells. You're casting curse. Why are you cursing people? Why are you killing animals? Why would you destroy nature when you're using nature in order to provide. Makes no sense, right? So the minute you destroy, the minute you sacrifice something, you just null and voided that whole thing. Why did you have to kill that bird? You didn't. You don't need to do that in order to, I know, I love how do I put this? I love how TV has turned potions, like, I have to add this herb and that herb and this herb and that herb, and I throw the potion and the demons go poof, and people really believe that. No. That is not coming from that water and that salt and that tea leaf, and no. It's not coming from that. It's coming from you. The only reason you believed that it worked, that energy, when you threw it, you threw that energy along with it. That was the intent. The energy came from you and hit whatever it is that you were coming from. It wasn't that bottle. I'd make 6,000 bottles of water and throw them all day long as I had the intent and believing it 100% that it was going to work. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to work. It's going to work. You even hear this from, let's say, those billionaires you see on, let's say, YouTube and Facebook, and they're like, you can be a billionaire, you just got to believe, and you got to do this, that, and the other, because they're so damn confident of what they're doing. They gave themselves strength. So this is where I'm trying to say, it's shown even today, and people still telling you, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to go, oh, well, here's a bottle of water and I threw it at the building and it was like, it didn't fall down. Well, no shit. No shit, asshole. First of all, you came at it at a cocky energy and you knew it wasn't going to work. So boom, null and void. These are the things that I'm talking about. You're never going to be able to do those things. You're not going to be able to take a little jar of water, throw it at a building, and you're not going to destroy the building. I mean, that's ill intent. You already know in the back of your mind that's not going to work, that it's not physically possible to make it work. So there are things you can do that you can have confidence and believe in, and you can make things happen. You just have to know how to do it. And that's why I tell everybody, it's not always for everybody. Mainly when we look at like the witch trials and things like that, that was just finger blaming. That's pointing fingers at people and saying that they were a witch because so-and-so got pissed off and, whatever. And so they claimed them to be a witch and they were killed. Real witches were doctors. They were the medicine women. They were medicine men. They helped people. They knew what herbs could do. People saw that as magic. We don't see that as magic today. We call that medicine. That's just medicine. But thanks to them getting the knowledge of the herbs and the things that they could use that would take away a headache, help you breathe better. There are different things. One of the biggest things that helps you breathe better, I've heard so many people, peppermint will steal your breath away. It is strong. It does not help you breathe. Eucalyptus will open up your lungs. It helps you expand your lungs. Maybe you take in a deeper breath. It will take away your clogged nose. If you want to get rid of that clogged nose during the middle of, let's say, allergy season, take one dot, put it right in between here. Give it about 30 seconds, and you'll start to be able to breathe. It's amazing. It's there. Everybody overlooks it, and they don't think anything of it. They're like, what the hell is that oil going to do? It's going to do a lot. It's going to do a lot. As long as you get the natural stuff and not stuff that smells. Don't get the fragrant oils. Get the actual oils. Those work. I know they work. I use them in my everyday life. So, but guys, next Friday, I'm going to have a special guest for you guys, and you're going to enjoy their energy, and I hope you like what they have to bring to the table. But I'm going to ask everybody who's watching right now, What about witchcraft do you have an interest in? What is it that you would like to see so I can bring forth that energy so you get a better idea of what it is that you would like to know about? Okay, go. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see where this goes. And I was just going to pull out these oils too. That way everybody gets an idea of the oils and stuff that I keep. God, this thing smells so good. I can smell it from here. But it's all the different oils. And these are not the fragrance oils. And they are delicious. Some of them smell delicious. Some of them are like, no thank you. But they work. Not everything in nature smells good. Herbs for natural healing. That's a good one. Candle magic and spells. In order to do that, I would let that go to one of my candle magic friends. With spells and stuff, remember the intent. Remember what goes behind it and what I was just explaining to everybody. So having that one-on-one, it's best to know that. So I'm glad we were able to have these discussions before you guys get into something like candle magic and spells. Now, in my family, if someone's coming at us with ill intent, we mark their words. It's just, hey, if you're going to be an asshole, everything you put out there, you're going to go out and hurt people. Everything you put out there, coming back. We're just going to shine that mirror of karma right at you. Like turn on the spotlight, like, hey, guess what? Here he is. Hey, it's him. Yep, right there. You got him. Yep. Smacked him in the face. Oh, good. Don't forget to kick him in the ass. Thank you. So don't mess with my family because they'll mark your words. All right, it says, I'm obsessed with witchcraft because of the true knowledge behind it that people have hidden and plundered and tried to say it was evil for centuries. Well, yeah, I mean, they all try to say, but back in the day, certain religions used to think other religions were evil. They worship a dragon. Why the hell would they do that? You worship Jesus. Why the hell would you do that? Oh, do you have a story behind? Yeah, they got a story too. So which one of your stories is real? Both of them are real. Just in the way that are different. Some of the things that we were told, this is where we lose our faith because we get told things that we lose. Or we look at it too literally when a dragon could have meant something even more. It could have been, or you hear the word magic carpet. Was it really a magic carpet? Stairway to heaven. Was it really a stairway? No. It's just to let you know that that's where you're going to go. The dragon is the dragon that was taking you to the heavens. The dragon wasn't it wasn't the God. The dragon was the one that took you to God. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that people, if they don't understand, they automatically claim it to be evil. And in this day and age where everybody's got an opinion, well, guess what, guys? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. So it's not something that you want to, just because so-and-so has an opinion about one thing, that's because they have a belief. Guess what? You have a belief too. And it doesn't have to resonate with them. Your belief is your own. So empower yourself. There are other people in this world that have these beliefs that think exactly and similar as you. And when you guys come together and you start talking, you're like, holy cow, that resonates with me, but I see also this. And then that will resonate with the other person. You're like, oh my God, I see that too. And then you guys go back and forth and you get these goosebumps and you feel good about it. That's how things like that form. And it spreads and it gets bigger and bigger. Religions are similar. Everybody's got one, but I'm going to tell you this, in my belief here, I have studied 78 different religions. I have a diploma from the church for doing so. And I'm going to tell you, each one of these religions that I've studied, including witchcraft, has a piece of the truth. And I believe it was designed that way because when we finally all come together, instead of hating each other, the truth will be revealed. And until we all come together, it's never going to be revealed. And that's why we keep falling on hard times, because we're too busy hating one another instead of loving one another or helping each other out when it's actually necessary. Well, guys, this is Journey Ryan. I want to say to everyone, have a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm going to get back to everybody on how everything comes together with our next practitioner. And I will see you guys Monday. Have a beautiful weekend. I'm going to go swim in the pool.